What's up? And welcome to another episode of Director's Talk. This is an interesting one. As a kid growing up, I was very into space. TV shows like Lost in Space, Star Trek is my favorite space show of all time. And growing up, it was a big role model, you know. Here I am seeing a white man, a Jew, running around sleeping with everybody, green, black, orange women. He didn't care. So that helped me have a nice, healthy understanding that human relations can be better. And I'm in love with this black woman, Uhura, who's not a maid cleaning a house, sweeping, but she actually has speaking lines and is very important and pertinent to the show. Being a scholar of English, and I love English language, and I love to write, and I have very neat penmanship, I've always adored the fonts of Star Trek. I thought it was beautiful, the way it came on, the way the words looked, when they started, distributing the names of the characters of the show. I was just fascinated. And one thing I did when I started working on I'm Done, the final installment for the werewolf film, it is a horror film. It is based upon a werewolf. But this movie has a lot of space elements as a throwback to Star Trek. It talks about the moon, the history of the moon. There's a lot of space stuff in here. But one thing I did that was very sly was the fonts. The fonts is a homage to Star Trek. If you look at the title of the film, and later on when the film comes out, when you start seeing sequences of names and things being portrayed on screen, it's in the fonts of Star Trek. Absolutely an undertone that no one else would get, but hey, that's what I love growing up. Star Wars was rock and roll and Star Trek was jazz. Star Trek was much more relatable. Again, human relations, different characters of different breeds coming together, and you're only judged by your ability, not by your color and creed. And Star Wars just wasn't relatable. I didn't like Star Wars until Lando Calrissian came on the scene with the slick hair, the perm, good looking dude, nice mustache, talk smooth. Other than that, Star Wars is a little bit too white for me. Those weird haircuts and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I'm not with this. But yeah, one of the undertones of this new film that I'm working on, the fonts is an homage to Star Trek, old school Star Trek. And then when the film started coming out, it made me more proud because they had bigger budgets and things like that. But I just thought it was funky the way it looked on screen, on TV. And those are some of the things that I really pay attention to that most other people don't. They just see things for film and movement and dialogue and action, where I see things in an artistic form. And I want to pay an homage to that. That's why I love images, still images. Again, one of my favorite posters is of Alfred Hitchcock, and that still of him in the shadows. But yeah, man, doing some editing on the film, and you'll see in that marketing in the near future, you'll be like, oh yeah, I get what TALA was talking about. It's an homage to Star Trek. That's pretty cool. And now that Paramount is rebooting Star Trek, it's starting from scratch again. The current 3 films, they're gonna end it there. Timelines get messy, so they're gonna start from scratch. Not so much going back to Spock and Kirk and stuff. There's so many stories to tell with Star Trek. And the one thing I love about Star Trek, it moves forward. It started with this generation, then that generation, and that generation. And there's tons of stories to tell, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man, I hope all is going well during these holidays and all that good stuff. Your boy's doing good, steadily working on the film. But once you get you some content out there about some details that you would probably wouldn't catch unless you're a true Star Trek fan or a friend and component of old school cinema from TV and also on the big screen. All right, until the next time, be well, be safe, learn to love on each other, stop being jealous, and accept yourself for what you are, and keep it moving. Peace, know the routine. Fade to black.